Welcome to the Politricks Watch. This is Sir P. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most brutish and monstrous Europeans ever set foot on iron, man. One of the wickedest backer of all time. You probably would have never heard about this individual because what they call quote-unquote history in Jamaica is basically watered down. And it's all by design. If Jamaican children were taught the real ugly face of Jamaica, how the country got to the point where it became known as quote-unquote Jamaica, I talk about from start to finish, maybe the people wouldn't be so docile, so obsessed with entertainments and gimmicks and just being blind consumers to anything will look cool like a child, basically overgrown children. The Jamaican rebel is a myth. Sorry to break it to you. Jamaica has produced many rebels over the years. None of them left even go here to go help fight for them revolution. But the idea that Jamaican masses have been rebels is quite simply not true. Historically, it is a fact that Jamaica did not earn its independence. Jamaica did not win a military victory and then establish itself as a republic free from European rule. Nothing of the sorts. Even the rebellions them Jamaicans talk about, enough of them, while they spooked the Europeans, made them nervous and very aware that things can go really bad, it didn't ultimately defeat anything. Post-World War II, the major colonial powers like the British, French and them people were on the ropes. The war had completely battered them. It was hard to hold on to the colonies. Look at when most African countries, most Caribbean countries got independence, and you will see most of them fall within the same 10-year period. That's not by coincidence. For the most part, Jamaicans are rebels without causes. They rebel against stupid things like parking spaces, like they don't want to park, they say they don't want to park, yes sir. Alright, they don't want to go to that door, they don't want to go to that door. That's what Jamaicans call rebels, like make noise and something like that. But actual rebels, in the days of the literal slave plantations, the rebels were not the norms, they were the exceptions. And these rebels were often sold out by other black people. Even just talk about rebelling would make man go carry news to Bakra, and next thing you know you're dead. Understand, the people who were calling out the madness that was taking place, they were the bad guys. Let me say that one more time. They're rewriting history before your very eyes. People like Marcus Garvey, people like the national heroes, whether it's Sam Sharp or whoever you want to think about, Paul Bogue, whoever you want to think about. Back in those days, there were many Negroes who like burn them out. So Marcus Garvey hold on them general after I'm dead and gone, and they realized it looked too bad, and they realized that the whole world that this man was this great leader. And his homeland, Jamaica, was like, oh shit. Everybody has said this brother, this general. Alright, we could quickly boost him up. When Marcus Garvey was alive, the things that he was saying was ridiculed throughout the history of Jamaica, whether it's 50 years ago or 200 years ago. The people who were calling out the madness, the acidity, the plantation, and those that run it, people who were calling out the most popular people at the time, they were hated. Those people were ostracized. Long after them dead and gone, them jump on the bandwagon. Nothing has changed. There's a reason why some of the wickedest people you'll ever see, whether politicians or entertainers, they are the most popular people in Jamaica and they have the most crowd behind them. Nothing has changed. Guy, understand this. They don't teach Jamaicans real history because they don't want Jamaican children to grow up militant. If Jamaican children realize how serious certain things were, they would do everything to make sure say it can't happen again, whether it's in a different form, because something might not happen exactly what happened before, but it can take shape in another form. I'm telling you that this plantation don't look like the plantation where man did that dead pan 400 years ago, but Nothing has changed. Who's at the top? Who is the elite guy? What them look like? Sorry, out of many one people. No offend nobody because I don't know a thing already. A bad mind around the place. Sorry, it's hard for me to keep the bad mind. I'm so bad mind, so it's hard for me to keep it down. Old time days, top was non-black. Then you have the house negroes them and the bootlickers them. Then you have the people them who for them job. You have the agents and the pawns and the spies, the backer and all them something there. Guy, nothing has changed. These videos make people uncomfortable because it goes against the out of many one people concept, and that was put together for, as me say, when people start asking certain questions like, yo, how come 90% of the population looks so? But when I talk about the elite power structures and who actually run office and control that looks so, how you get around that is by telling people out of many one people. Let's face some harsh realities as a four. We're going to the video I'm telling about this background. I haven't been to every country in the world, but I've been to enough to know say the black man has to be the weakest of them all. I'm not talking about physical strength because some dummy are going to tell me about LeBron James or Shaquille O'Neal being 7 feet tall and 500 pounds of muscle. They might tell me say Usain can run 100 meters in a 8 seconds. I'm not talking about that type of strength there. I'm not talking about that type of strength. When you travel the world, whether you go Asia, Europe, even Africa where they think say in a black man place, guy, think again. Caribbean, South America, no matter where we go. So it's no surprise that the countries that they put the black man will beat them chest. Oh, man a yard, guy, be quiet. A 3'2" man from Guzungung province can drop in your place and run that. One time you read the history of Jamaica, the Caribbean, you realize this is nothing new. It has to be studied. Who may I talk about today? One of the wickedest backers in Jamaican history is a man by the name of Thomas Thistlewood. Vile, monstrous, a sadist. Some would go as far as say he was a sadomasochist, a brute of the highest order. A few old-time Jamaicans pass down stories about him, via oral traditions. Old-time days man sit down and get around table or get around a fire, or get around some food, and old people pass down stories to young people. That kind of fade away, but it's still about, if you can ask, some real Jamaican historian who know them man name. Thomas Thistlewood. If you don't know nobody like that, the best mainstream work me can point you to is a book called Mastery, Tyranny and Desire, written by a man named Trevor Bernard. That's Burnard. That's the best mainstream one me can give. A vile monster. I can tell you now, I say he was one of the wickedest backer Jamaica has ever seen, and he still had his fans. Thistlewood, like many Europeans, heard stories that Jamaica is a place where you could be the son of some regular guy from Lincolnshire or Leicestershire. You're not having a big week in England where you can just get a little money and go to Jamaica and turn big week there so. That was Thistlewood. He never come from high society England. Let me say that one more time. Thomas Thistlewood did not come from high society England. He was not a blue blood. In England, he was nobody of any particular big title and big rank. I'm telling you, say a long time things are going on. You can be mediocre in Europe, mediocre in Asia, and become the definition of quote-unquote excellence in Jamaica. Now, even in Jamaica, there were other slave owners who were much bigger and richer than Thistlewood, But what made him stand out was his particular methods of how him quote-unquote discipline theme slave them. If you want to do more reading, you can also go check out The Best Poor Man's Country, Thomas Thistlewood in 18th Century Jamaica by James Robertson. The Best Poor Man's Country. I tell you, the more things change, the more them stay the same. But Thomas Thistlewood documented his own barbaric acts. Thomas Thistlewood documented his own barbaric acts. via him diary. So on a word of mouth from the slave them, him, I say what him do. This is what make theme story so interesting. Because enough of the other backward them, a slave I tell the story. We backward to them. Thistlewood, because as me say, he was sadistic, was writing down what him a do like him a describe. I guess it was the old time version of recording your own sex tape. So I write it down. What him a do and how him a penetrate this and how him dig that, and this man is vile. But we don't hear nothing yet. Now here comes Bakra Thistlewood. Interesting name because he made up fling hood upon countless Negroes. Whole heap of them was involuntary, in other words, rapeable. But there was the voluntary. This is the next part I'm telling about in the quote unquote history books. Make it sound like every woman was raped. Far from it. Listen to this. Thomas Thistlewood had a style where he would drop at least a one flag in a year. So, no care how the slave go on like say, he want to behave himself, him get a one flag in every year. Him spend nearly 40 years in Jamaica. So, you might have a well-behaved slave, but him still get a one flag in, at least one every year, just to remind him. So, you know nobody boy ya. When slave really get trouble, same thing was 100 lash. Quick 100 lash. Basic punishment that. Yes, basic 100 lashes on Thomas Thistlewood's plantation was a good day. Well, let's not listen to me. The slave them who get 100 lashes and only get that consider themselves lucky. You see, Thomas Thistlewood was of the idea that because the white slave owners were the minority of the population and Jamaica was 90% black and Negro, they couldn't win a numbers war. So therefore, he used psychological warfare to keep them in line. Mainly through fear, intimidation, and them thing there. He would brutally punish one. So that the rest of them say, well, John, no dog, me no want to end up like him, you know. No dog, you know, see them the runkus. Look how runkus mash up. But tell the man say if he easy dog, but tell just build my out, cause bad to bad. Bad to bad, yeah, once a year me I get my mouth bust up, but bad to bad dog, we under one little shed and me I get a little food. So me I say, so me I tell runkus the dog, just go easy my out and don't violate the general. Runkus talk about him tired of them life, I know, and the system of a mash up. Me I say, yo, Runkus dog, yo, alright, they pay your own. You think I know Jamaican that talk so? See me them sound now. John, no look at you, but me see what you saying, no dog, but in the day you have to realize, say, yo, things spooky, man, say, yo, in the day, me say, me can get a little money and so, me can buy a little food and, you know, me go in eating time and watch my TV, so, but I would just go on easier, dog, cause, the other alternative too risky, dog, but I would just easy, dog. A long time, the black man attack, so that's why everybody trample over him. Pathetic. Don't tell me about no slave guy, tell me about the rebels. I'd rather die on yonder gallows, that's who you tell me about, guy. I don't identify with people who talk about, yeah, but I would just go on easy. Where are they now? Still dead anyway. The slave guy who was saying, we should not get overrun by this guy, we should not take the lash from the man one time at 100 out upon the land, and only 3 of them. We should not get a beating from the man one time at 3,000 nowadays, so, and only 20 of them, so how if you get remote bust up by them man? The people them who that talk about that go easy and nobody cause no trouble, them people they know where they are now, they're the same way. Just like the rebels. This is why I'm telling you, I might not agree with a man's philosophy. I might not agree with a man's tactic, but I have nothing but respect for people who are willing for dead for them believing it. Some people are simply harder to conquer than others. You're going to have a very hard time conquering Iranians. Check the history of the Iran and the Iraq war and you know why. In the Iran and Iraq war, there were minefields set up to stop the Iranians from moving from one location to the next. And some soldiers would volunteer to step on them and make them go off so the group behind them can go across and fight. Jamaicans no built so guy. Jamaicans are clowns and consumers. In World War II, when you heard about the Japanese kamikaze fighters who flew them planes directly into ships, when you think Pearl Harbor is just a movie, you understand the mindset somebody need, willing for dead for him country like that. You might not agree with it. I'm talking about the mindset. Let me say that again because there's always some dummy one at the back. Yo, so we all say, man, fi go fly a plane. Listen up, low IQ guy. I'm talking about the mindset. Throughout history, you will find countless stories where an entire group decided they would rather live their life right here so to make the next group or the next generation win. Within black history, you have some rebels, a minority of rebels who give them slave master or the enemy hell. But the group were passive and rewrite history. Negroes been selling out each other and participating in the own destruction of their own people from Wappy, mother even born, much less to make him. These are facts, guy. Some people are simply harder to control than others. The history of your favorite quote-unquote Maroons. Remember I said there were two sets of Maroons. One signed the treaty and one set didn't. When Bakra realized that the Maroons are give them hell, when him link up with some and sign big treaty and give them this and give them that, they were very happy to hunt and kill other black people. Show me where in history you've ever seen a war divided by race and a group of black people make thousands and thousands of whites team up with them and hunt and kill and capture other whites and bring them to these blacks. Just show me this, guy. Where you can't, for love nor money now happen. For love nor money. I'm not talking about no 2 and 3, I meaning massive. And to make things worse, these Irish Saxon quote-unquote Maroons still celebrate that treaty to this day. It is their greatest achievement ever. Signing a treaty with their colonizer, where a part of the treaty explicitly stated they had to hunt, kill and capture people who look like them. Guy, don't talk to me. Guy, I'm telling you there's a mental illness within the black race. They are proud of that part of their history. Any white guy who helped even a black man out about the kindness of his heart, back in the day, he used to dead. You used to call him nigger lover. Hang him on a tree just like the black man in my help. That's how Billy Joe serious. Before Uncle Sam became quote-unquote the leaders of the free world, whatever they want to call themselves now, the image that they might try to put out, back in the day when Uncle Sam was showing them true colors, any white guy even see one black man and suffer and boy him don't even have to team up with him. Him don't even have to team up and help him kill no white man. Them just have to help him. Just help a black man in any way. And that white guy would be cut down for being a quote-unquote Negro lover. That's how serious other people is. Because me a fight against man, who is you for go help man? I saw them look on it. Listen to this. Whenever somebody would run away from Thistlewood's plantation, when they get catch, he would have them stripped naked, skin bust up now, say punishment time, cause who you think you are running away from plantation? He never done this so. He would then cover them in a molasses so that insect would have killed them with bite. Remember them skin done bust up already. 100 lashes was a good day. So you know, say, getting catch after a run are probably 1,000 lashes that now. Skin bust up to nothing. Alright, rub him down in a molasses. Rub him down good. Rub her down good, head to toe. Here comes the mosquito and flies. Tie up, chain up, can't move. You know mosquito annoying when they can't move. And you try to kill one mosquito with just takes it on you. Imagine when you can't move. And your skin already bust up. And you covered in a molasses, so you know say it a draw 1,000 mosquito. A theme thing that. That was Thomas Thistlewood. And The next tactic, after the slave them get bust up from beating, tear up them skin, use pepper and lime juice and rubbing at the wound. Guess who was doing enough of this rubbing at the wound? Other black slaves. You're thinking to yourself, yeah, but they never want to do it. Unicorn meat. When you soon hear about them. I'm telling you already, Thistlewood was a monster. When him really want to step it up, because I'm telling you, Lashes was a good day. When him really want to step it up, the Derby's dose, D-E-R-B-Y. Jamaican say Derby, but when time made them talk about the football club, a Derby made them say, so that means I saw you pronounce it. Derby's dose. You want to know what Derby's dose is? He would get one slave to defecate in the mouth of another one, and then sew up the mouth of that slave for the rest of the day. Let me say it one more time. I'm going to talk in a plain, vague terms. You can do what they want to do. Him get one slave shit in the next slave mouth, and then sew it shut. Sew it shut. If somebody are defecating in your mouth, your instinct of maybe spit it out back. So by sewing the mouth, it left two options to the slave. Either you swallow or you keep it in your mouth for the whole day.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
There is no limit. That's why we're not talk about guy. I'm telling you, the unnecessary wickedness yet. This Bakra took creativity for all the wrong reasons to a whole different level. He made a slave defecate in our next slave mouth and then sew the mouth shut. You're thinking to yourself, this can't real. Even by my standards of being a little YouTuber, making up things to get views, this can't real. Then go and go research for yourself. Thistlewood would do things like this because, as I say, he used psychological warfare. How does a minority control a majority? You cannot win an all-out brawl. You cannot. If everybody decides that we are going off here at the same time, you can't win it. You cannot win a physical battle. All if you have all the gun in the world, 10 man now go win against 10,000. You will be overwhelmed at some point. But them days, weapons were much more primitive. Bakra know that. So it was mind games them use and defeat the masses. Mind, not the body. They made sure the people on the plantation were mentally weak, spiritually weak. It was the intangibles. That's what them use conquer black people. The intangibles. It wasn't the physical. The slave on the plantation was a huge, well-built Negro. Imagine Shaquille O'Neal and them people there. Big and strong because them days them breed black people for their ability to go work back on the plantation. So them say, right, you big thick guy over there, so you go breed with she, you know, must make some well-built slaves. What is one boy Pitney? Yes, he's going to make a very good slave. You black girl, you shall make a fine concubine, go and ride all night. That's how it worked back then, guy. Physically, the slave could have broke him slave master neck with him bare hand. The slave back then was much stronger physically than any black man alive now. Because the conditions them survive and what they had to do and still live till they whole and dead, they must have been exceptionally strong. Them little softy Jamaican man over about the place couldn't have survived back then. Me talk about some seriously strong Negroes. Them could have broke back her neck with one hand. So how do you prevent it from happening? By mentally and psychologically dominating and controlling the Negroes. This is how Thistlewood justified his actions. He say, at this me have to do because the only way me can keep them in line. Now here's the thing. Throughout all of this, Thistlewood, like many other backers, still see themselves as moral people and good people, because who them lad do them something to wasn't no humans. That's how them justify it. They didn't see slavery as immoral, and it definitely wasn't illegal because the law supported slavery, which is why when slavery ended, the slave masters had to be compensated, not the slaves. So when you tell me about the law, me ask you which law? That's like when you ask about, just like when you talk about God, I say which God? Which law? European law? British colonial common law? Guy, step aside, I'm not impressed. What you talk about? Guy? The law said slavery was legal. The law said Bakra should be compensated for his slaves. Not the slaves get compensated for the act of slavery. How will them go through? Thomas Thistlewood's diary make it clear. Thousands of times him write down in his own words when him slave them. One of his preferred methods was sex. Thomas Thistlewood was an out-and-out rapeable. He argued that black people didn't fall under the social contract, right, where other people get. Therefore, you can't do this to them. So, if he was to force himself on a white woman, then in a female eyes, that's wrong because that is a person. But forcing yourself on a subhuman, well, that's fair game. The human mind is fascinating like that. You can do mental gymnastics and justify anything. And by the way, back in these days, enough of these plantation owners, after them done beat, kill, torture, and rape, Sunday man them in a church. I tell you, say God dey on them side. Nothing has changed. Just like now, the wickedest Jamaicans will tell you about me love God, me love God, me love God. Which God? But throughout all this, remember we are talking about Smaddy way. Theme thing was Darby's dose. Throughout all that. Because you must be thinking to yourself, well, that them and them must see, eventually them must revolt and chop off that them and their head clean. Guy, understand this. Thomas Thistlewood still had his supporters. Many of the Negroes on the plantation. You may be asking, but how? Simple. The same way every Don, politician, artist, human trafficker. How are you popular in Jamaica now? Put on one treat. Give them sitting. Remember, it's not what you do, it's what you do for them. Let me say it one more time. It's not what you do, it's what you do for them. It doesn't matter what you've done to others as long as you don't do it to them. Let me love you. Let me say that one more time. Let me repeat. It doesn't matter what you have done to others as long as you don't do it to them, and better yet, give them sitting. Then you are the general. You are them boss. Then we'll take side with you. And I know Jamaicans lack any true moral compass. And I know, throughout all of this, use your brain, the man, and say slavery don't make sense. How can 10 people, a family of 10 Anglo-Saxons, on a plantation and control 500, 1,000, 1,500 people all over the Caribbean and the world? How? Guy, there were other slaves there who were co-conspirators, who worked for Bakra. Why do you think Malcolm X had to make sure telling us that there was a house slave and a field slave? The house Negro was loyal to Bakra. He helped him deal with, round up, exploit, dig out the eye of the other Negroes. And anybody who want to go against the plantation, he must sell them out. His job was to help find and kill anybody who was a threat to Bakra's system. The house Negro sellout's job, apart from helping Bakra get even richer and more powerful, another one of his job is to help find and get rid of any Negro who is a threat to the plantation. If you try to mention any talk of no escape or no rebellion, him run gone right away. Bakra the boy live on there someone, man. Within no time, him dead. So when you see these grotesque ground lizard looking people like don't slide or walk upon them boat, Yo, we can't even find someone to understand, guy. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. You see him white out him skin. Nothing with him do can make him Anglo-Saxon. That really burn him. But him can get as close to it as possible. These clowns, right, are agents of them daddy. He never start with that grown lizard looking freak Tommy from Dunslide Funeral Home and other people like him and your favorite DJ them. A long time this stay so. Guys, check the scoreboard no man, about 10,000, 20,000 people make videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. But all of them have their eyes fixated on one. One prize is more valuable than others. The little YouTuber. Them know why. And me alone make videos about out this and about out that. Other people say the same thing, but them know who them fear and them know why. I tell you about Thistlewood's favorite quote-unquote girlfriend, whatever you want to call her. The black woman who was in her life. Stand up strong in her life and now move. All them do is pick out some little controlled opposition. Controlled opposition, cause again they're controlled. Them just move around freely. Nobody knows business officer because the system, the machine knows that person is 100% not a threat. Them telling you that Jamaica is a free society where the citizens have all these rights and the citizens can do this. Guy, don't be stupid. In Jamaica, you can vote for your MP to push through a mandate and the Senate can block it. The unelected Senate can block it. That's where they put their favorite house Negroes and house Negresses. And their custodian class, people like Tom Tavares, Vincent and them people there. Controlled opposition. The job of the controlled opposition is to state some basic vague things like life is unfair. Oh my god, the bills are high. Oh no, we need to fix crime. There's some vague statements and make it sound like they're against the system, but in reality they are the system because the system put them where them there. And if the system fear them, then couldn't they do so. They would have to hide in some bush and be some kind of revolutionaries. Their life is quite content, guy. That's controlled opposition. One of Thistlewood's favorite Negroes, favorite house Negroes, was a black man by the name of Lincoln. Old slave driver Lincoln. Now, Thistlewood used to beat Lincoln too. But Lincoln used to beat the rest of slaves them. Let me show you how this working. Thistlewood used to beat Lincoln, but Lincoln could batter bruise lesser slaves. So Lincoln higher than other slaves but lower than Thistlewood. And even though Thistlewood beat him still loyal to Thistlewood because Thistlewood put him above these other Negroes. Do you not see how nothing has changed? Thistlewood claims same rate Lincoln. Give him all kind of things. Lincoln would defend Thistlewood no matter how much beating him get. I tell you, the mind of the Negro has to be studied. No matter how they get beaten like dog, beaten till they piss at themselves. Eventually their mindset is, but end of the day, we must send it, give me this one time. So it's myself, dog, I just myself, just look past everything. Lincoln did have a little name. He did have a little talk. Who gave him that talk? Thistlewood. So his loyalty was to Thistlewood. Because at Thistlewood make him can look down upon these other Negroes. And that is the most important thing for many other black people. Not elevating to the top, not threatening the machine, not making it to elite status. They don't want to challenge Bakra. They don't want to challenge man from Guzungung province. As long as they are above these other Negroes, they are happy. And I know black people stay so, guy. Has to be studied. I'm telling you, Thistlewood used to rape off no fine black slave them. He was a very sadistic man. Brutish. He documented his own rape. He documented it. I'm not talking about word of mouth from the slave them. Because you might say, yeah, but the slave them are certain thing. He write it down like him and document him on porn. Very sharp and vivid details. Grotesque details. This man is on the plantation raping off a much black woman. And big 6'2", 6'5", 6'20" black man turn up there and watch him. And did nothing. Because mentally they were defeated. The man tell you about, yeah, but dog, suppose the man go beat me again, dog. Suppose the dog, suppose we'll get tight up now, dog. To this day, it is very hard for enough to not understand how certain things we just say now. Enough black men complain say black woman rape them. Guy, understand, even that I come from history. Because historically, the black woman see that fear man is the weakest of them all. Fear man sit on plantation while being 6'5" with 700 pound of muscle. Him can lift up one digger all by himself, but he could not lift a hand to stop Anglo-Saxon guy from raping his woman. These things come straight down the line. It is very hard for enough black women to take black man serious. Well, let's now listen to me. We are going deep in that now. It is very hard, better about historically. Black women have always, to this day, black women put white men on a pedestal. No matter what them want to tell you, black women put white men on a pedestal. They see them as some kind of leader, done. They're very submissive in front of them. Them things they now come from now in a guy. Historically, imagine a woman up on a plantation and watch fear quote unquote men who outnumber these frail Europeans who are battering at the sun. Remember, there was no AC them time there. Them still gonna watch this pasty guy from who in England or Scotland a sweating a batter in his sun. A box down man, a kick down man and a piece bomb man. And she look crossed and see this big old strong nigga. And no care how she get raped, ain't gonna stop it. Guy, be realistic. It's going to be hard to respect that man there. Throughout all of this, Thistlewood did have a black girlfriend, concubine, whatever you want to call her. Her name was Fibber. She served as his chief housekeeper. Big title. Fibber hold whole heap of talk on the plantation. Whole heap. Real big woman. But where did her power come from? Handed to her by Bakra. Thistlewood and Fibber had a relationship. She was not like the other woman them. Meaning say if she tell Thistlewood say she don't want to have sex, he listened, he documented it himself. On multiple occasions, Fibber never feel feet. And him say, alright, cool. The other slaves, the one them when hold down, they may get them choice. Fibber and Thistlewood had a relationship. 30 years, Fibber and Thistlewood do them thing. But she wasn't alone. Yes, there were other female slaves who, him and them, got a thing going on. So you're asking how? How can one set I get old and all kind of sadistic and barbaric acts? We're not just talking about regular intercourse now. We're not talking about regular push this and that. We're talking about anything can get in hand pan. We're talking about, as me say, sadistic. We're going on a different level now. The man was a deviant. But he still had his supporters. He still had black women when quote unquote like. And they defended him by saying, well, he can't be that bad because him not rape weed. Let me say it one more time. Fibber and the woman them, right, with the quote unquote, they with him kind of like him. Now him have like a harem of black slaves now, you know. Once them now for hold down, them can't wait to get one backers from Bakra. Them can't wait to get one Bakra backers. Their justification was, well, him give it things, and he did give them things. As a matter of fact, Fibber even get land and business out of Thistlewood. Do you know how extraordinary that was for a black woman? Them time there, a black slave for get land, a European land this, you run this and all business. They were happy to look the next way because he might give them things. And yet, him make such man defecate in such man mouth and sew it up, and yes, he might rape Patsy, but him not do that to me. I don't know Jamaican stay so, you know. You can make a Jamaican overlook any brutality, any barbarism, as long as you don't do it to them and you give them sit. Nothing activates in the brain that we are in this together, therefore we can make this happen. This is why even when time enough of the quote-unquote rebellions that took place in Jamaica and other places in the Caribbean, one of the reasons why enough of them failed is because they were not coordinated. In other words, that man a move now and them next 20 man now move. So that one man go out there and get what he don't get. The puppet, the agent, the house negro, it's nothing new. All the difference is now them have money and then can put on a stage show and then can go to the House of Parliament and then can put on one, then can now speak much better. Now they can fly upon plane, but understand the mindset hasn't changed, guys. I promise you, whether it's 100 years ago or 100 years from now, if you go certain place, if you go find any country you think nice, them love tell us that Norway and them place they friendly and nice and peaceful, make a group of black people go Norway and defecate in a white man mouth and sow that mouth. Remember me tell you go and find out how nice Norwegians really are. Me see how much people have said my story about one incident where one black youth killed some little girl in Wales. White guy gets so vicious that him all start attack man who never have nothing to do with it. Him just start group up man. Him just alright, we not just target this specific group. Where you say you come from Rwanda, we not business where you want to come from. We're going to just group in all you Negroes. As a matter of fact, while we're at it, we're going to just throw in all the Muslim guy at you. Hold on, they can dead. Hold on, they can get it. Where you say you come from? Man a ball boat. Me general, a Pakistan me come from. Me not nothing to do with it. Liar tell, hold a lick in your face too. Man all get ready to choke the white flag. Me general, I'm from Pakistan. I had nothing to do with what happened in Wales. The Joe say what? Me no business where you want to come from. 1 year a guy killed 3 little white girls. The whole of them go and feel it. The youth who do the killing was born in the United Kingdom. And by the time they done, then tell us it's a war against immigrants. Because you know why? Them no business where you want born. You no come from Boya. You might born here, but you no come from Boya. Your people ain't come from Africa. And you know why that? Because culture and mindset. Their mindset is Negro guy, Muslim guy, we no business if you're born here, but we know say your grandfather no born here. But we know say your father no born here, and if your father born here, we know say your grandfather no born here. Because you don't look like we. So you see, because you don't look like we, then you are not we. So any excuse me get to rise up, you go and get it too. That's the difference. You don't realize that's a sleeping giant. Or like sleeping bears. You ever see a polar bear asleep? It might look cute and cuddly, but if you ever wake up and decide you might go up on a spree, all your intestines in pop out. I rate Irish accent, I rate house Negroes, I rate and people that want some bad mind. We not talk about money and clothes and shoes, things are frivolous. 200 years from now that I mean none. Remember, download and type of video. Download these type of videos. Because in the future when time the machine really come down on the local YouTube and come down on the movement and them start cancel this and cancel that. Underground thing I forgot go. Underground, like in the old days. Man I've got to start smuggle local YouTuber videos. You know, so I have 3 local YouTuber videos. I have 2, alright, I can put them together, 5 that. I tell nowadays say the mind me I try to change, or the culture and mindset me they have to change. Or the seed me I plant. Is a next set of man, I go take this and bring the nation to the next level. Anyway, Patreon squad, big up on yourself. PIA don't know more life. Ultra squad, see you circling. Bless.